Yo, just want to get this up. I jumped in an ETH short. This is called a fade trade. The reason for it is I am long on Bitcoin right now. I am totally believing we're about to see a face melting rip to the upside. The kind of contraction and volatility shown in the BBWP on all time frames is indicative of that. Plus, we've been holding support. I know people think, you poke too many holes in a piece of paper and eventually that piece of paper rips through. But you also have to look at the narrative that the market likes to do the opposite of what everybody else is thinking. So going against the herd, being a contrarian can actually work, especially as an investor, when you can maybe tolerate some more downside. You don't have leverage that will actually wick you out of your positions. However, I do like my leverage trading, and therefore I am bringing you an entry on shorting ETH or selling, closing your long. Just for the moment, we're going to see a pullback, and that is something that can be executed on. And then again, looking for something going longer. Now, I'm not trying to be right or wrong. I'm trying to give you what I see. Let's go into the charts. So I'll show you my entry over here, but basically why I'm looking at this, pull you back just to ETH 1 hour. We're on the 4-hour time frame, and we're coming up against. Okay, so just looking at basic price action, we're coming up against the 800 EMA. Definitely a rejection point. If we get above it, we don't hold above it for long in bear markets. Now, again, I think something's about to shift overall, but if we also just take a gentle Fibonacci retracement, you'll see that we're at the golden pocket, right? We're at that 618.65 sweet spot to see people taking profits, which is why I titled the video as such. Now we're going to what I don't use GAN fans a lot. You'll see one on here. It worked decently here, right? It worked decently, coming off this low from this high. And showed some support. Also, again, showed support. So I'm keeping it on there. I expect resistance to meet around here. This is a CPR line that was printed back on September 3rd, Saturday, September 3rd, and it's a strong one. And we will dance around these, but often if we do not hold them, they become resistance. So I got 1 point of resistance here, 400 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, plus the golden pocket. Now that for me is worthy of putting some money down to fade trade short. If I was in a long, which I wish I had been in on ETH rather than Bitcoin because the move was just sweeter, I would be there. Now let's look at the TDI. So first of all, declining volume. I know it's increasing that way, but it's not what started the move. So the reason I'm thinking pullback as well is we're way up here, hitting around 80 for the RSI on the TDI. And where did I see this? On the daily or the 1 hour? I have rarely seen the liquid 50, which is a trend moving average that really gets to smooth out price action and tell you, what the trend is. Yes, the trend is up. I'm a contrarian. I see this above our 70 read as way overbought. And that's just a term. Like, overbought's tough to use because things can stay overbought moving up for a while. But I just haven't seen this since the closest thing we saw was back here on our level 2 move to the upside. And again, right, we had this come back down towards the 200, a retracement of, looks like the 0.5. Yeah. So we got the 0.5 retracement, 50% reclaiming the vector candle here, which you can see was strong volume down here. But what I'm saying is that was also met with some bearish divergence of the regular kind. But to me, that liquid 50 coming up in this zone was just a sign of like, whoa, 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 what's going on here? And I have to take advantage of that because I trust the TDI above all. That is a huge confirmation in how I trade. I do look at price action. I do look at support resistance, as you can see. So anyways, I'm out if we come up above this GANFAN line because I would re-enter around $1,700, which would probably be a 0.86 retracement off this past move. Yeah, so it's right between, just below the 0.886 retracement by about 23 bucks. So I'm willing to stand in some drawdown. I'll show you my entry over here. There's my entry. So my entry is at 1571. Yes, it got a wick above, and I really wanted to add some short to it, but instead I'm layering in a little higher just because this move is strong in my opinion, and this is a less probable trade, but the confluence is there. I have to take my trades, right? If you listen to Mark Douglas, you studied, read his book, Trading in the Zone, you would understand that when your conditions are met for your edge and the probabilities are in your favor based on your edge that has been back tested, you have to take the trade. Any hesitation, any resistance, that is fear working within you, and fear is a money killer. So when I see this, I have to enter. Yes, I'm willing to endure some drawdown. I can hold trades for weeks. Holding drawdown for weeks, that's not really my cup of tea, but holding a trade for days and weeks is definitely something I am capable of. So you have to know you. But again, if you're a scalper, you can also apply your strategy here for a fade trade, which means that you're counter trend trading. But if you look at the macro trend, right, the macro trend is down. So maybe you are on a macro scale trend trading. It's up to you. Again, I am looking for longs, yet I could not ignore this short because that's what the charts were showing me. If you understand that all you can do is be available to what the market is offering you, then you will have a lot more peace and a lot less stress in your trading. So you see what I got here? Boom. That's my entry. Right now, I'm barely in profit. That was a wick up. And again, I think that's a wick that's going to hold. So if I decide to layer in a little bit more, I'll probably layer in around either the golden pocket retracement of that wick. So if you want to see what that looks like, let's see if we got a 4 hour. All right. So I don't think this candle's not closing for another hour and a half, another 24 minutes on this candle to close. But once it closes, let's say it closed here, that's how I draw my Fibonacci tool, and I look for them to recover the wick. Look, it's even pushing down. Let's just hold it there. I look for the recovery of the wick at least to the 0.618, usually half the wick, 0.618. Sometimes you get some fierce wickage up to this high or even beyond. And again, that's where my stop parameter, which is a unique trick of using the 0.886 Fibonacci retracement as an extension tool almost, meaning that, man, I'll just have to show you because, you know, whoever decides to tune in here, I look to, and this is what you saw on my actual entry on my exchange, but I come from the low, or I come from the high, I move down to the low. So I'm using this tool in reverse. I get it, but I back tested this and this works impeccably. I have an entry at 1640. Again, there's some confluence here with the GANFAN, because I don't think it's going above that, maybe a little bit of wickage. And then once that is wicked out, I believe the retrace to actually steady out this move before the next leg up is imminent. So that's where I'm at. This is essentially how I set my stops, which is usually just above this due to the spread and the volatility of crypto. especially on whatever exchange you're using. So it's not the most precise in that sense because, or you can use it that way because 86% of the time it will not breach 1640, 1641, adding a little bit of a spread in there. However, when I have greater certainty or a sense of certainty, knowing that the market is unique and the market can do whatever it wants, I will move my stop just up a touch and leave it there comfortably. Now, if that gets wicked out because of some crazy volatility, I typically re-enter. It used to be a revenge-like trade, and it's become more of a I know the manipulation is there, and I'm going to take advantage of it. So, anyways, wanted to leave that with y'all. Again, if we set up some price structure and we move away from the 1557 point, breaking the wick high, whatever is set here in the New York session, and we break that away with great price structuring, the moving averages coming to price, the cross being confirmed here, that's something that would have me reconsidering my trade, scratching out, taking a small loss, or taking whatever profits on the table. We are getting a cross of the 200 over the 800. Typically, when you see this on the 1 hour time frame, you get a retest down here. And to validate that, there is a point of interest to me. There's point of interest about 1440, which, let's see, from this, I mean, this move isn't done yet, right? Maybe it is, but yeah, right there. You got the 0.382 and you have the 0.5 retracements. So, plus a lot of liquidity just left wide open here. I can certainly imagine them returning to this area, 1440, to reclaim some of that liquidity before moving higher. And I doubt before the bear market's over that we would leave this much liquidity, even on the 1 hour time frame. But look at the 4 hour. We're not going to leave that liquidity behind. I still even think that we have a 1100 Ethereum coming. Shoot, man. Maybe that's just me. I'm being willful. I'm being hopeful right there because I wanted in. I wanted in around these areas. I got in 1038, but I wanted more in, and I want to see those prices again because I'm personally call that greedy. But look at this. We're getting a little 8% move. Look at that from the open yesterday in Tokyo. Whoa, 8% already off a huge move from the top side. Enough talking. Y'all heard my spiel. What the Sean? That's a 30% move. That's freaking huge. That's huge. This is definitely in line with what was expected out of Bitcoin. Take a look at that bitty bitty. Beautiful stuff. Closing above is going to be critical. And I have no doubts in Bitcoin. I just think that ETH will have to peel back. And why do I say that? I follow the ETH Bitcoin valuation, and it is also showing a beautiful move to the upside, but it's way outperforming Bitcoin. I don't know. I don't need to make any more. I don't need to look for any more evidence. Once you have found your edge and you see your conditions in the market, stop looking for evidence. You can look for invalidations as reasons to exit said trade, but if you're looking for further evidence, then you are trying to validate a belief that you know what's going to happen next. You're trying to validate an expectation, which is just a belief projected into the future of what the outcome is. Surrender the outcome, take your trades, manage your risk, and learn how to systematically take profits. All right, cheerio. That's a quick one. Mad love. Pieces. Peace.